Oh my gosh, finally! Let me just take off this stapled on receipt and I can... Okay, in all seriousness, getting the Switch 2 wasn't that simple. But at least I didn't have any problems with staples puncturing screens. GameStop. What I actually had to do was go over to Best Buy to pick up my pre-order sometime before June 10th, which seems super easy, but I was so excited for the console that I forced my parents to take me during the midnight release. Now usually with midnight releases, you have to wait in line a few hours beforehand if you want to be first in receiving your console. This was expectedly the case, because the pickup line was super short an hour or two before the release and we just came to see how many people would be there. When we came back around an hour after the release, the pickup line ended up being way longer than any of us expected, extending across like 3 other stores. The most surprising part though was probably that the line to purchase the console was actually a lot shorter than the pickup line. I guess most people who had pre-ordered had the same idea as me. Anyways, the most logical thing to do was just to go home for the night and pick up the Switch 2 in the morning, so I waited in line for an hour and got my hands on the console that night. Now that I see it in person, I'm surprised how compact the box is considering how huge the Switch 2 is with its 7.9-inch display and stuff. I'm also surprised how stupid I was trying to open the box in the back. What an idiot. Now, opening up the console, box, you see the cool angled placement of the Joy-Cons, which explains why the box can be so small. I'm taking them out here, but not taking them out of the wrapper because I'm just like that. Ooh, look, it's a huge screen. Now this I'm taking out. Cool. There's my Mario Kart World code, not paying $80 for it when the bundle only costs $50 more than the console itself. Next up are the Joy-Con attachments. I find it interesting how they're just little rails this time. They honestly seem useless with how big the connectors are now. Oh wow, here's the big grip with the red and blue. Gonna be fun to deal with if they ever release new Joy-Con colors. Oh, and here's the most exciting part. The power cable, now with a separate brick. Thank goodness. And last but not least, the new dock with the huge curves at the corners. I didn't like it at first, but like everything usually does, it eventually grew on me. Okay, cool. That's all I have. Alright, so the first thing I noticed when using it is that the console is huge. Makes it a lot more comfortable to hold in my big hands, and playing with the single Joy-Con is slightly less torture. The overall design is also pretty cool too. I like how everything is all one color with the red and blue highlights. Makes it feel super slick and modern and stuff. I also like how nice the console feels to the touch. Making the Joy-Cons out of this rough plastic really gives it a premium feel. Now, I feel a design choice that everybody was nervous about was the magnetic Joy-Cons. No need to worry about those, thankfully. They work perfectly. They snap on nicely and are incredibly strong on the console and the grip. Oh, and also, there's no Joy-Con wiggle from the Switch 1, so that's a cool upgrade too, I guess. Now, software-wise, the UI feels practically identical to the Switch 1, which is disappointing, but not a big deal. I mean, the only purpose of the menu is to select the game that you're going to play, so you look at it for like 5 seconds anyways. The real difference is in the performance. Playing games from the Switch 1 like Fortnite showed just how much more capable the Switch 2 actually is. Look at that! It's actually playable and at a high fidelity too. I also like the new 1080p HDR display, by the way. It's not much of a downgrade from the OLED, which is great, and the 4K TV support's also cool. Never has Link looked this crispy running in circles. Alright, now that we have the general review out of the way, it's time for what I'm most excited for. This was just supposed to be about the Switch 2, but this game's too good not to talk about. Mario Kart World is everything you'd expect from Mario Kart, but 10 times more chaotic, especially online knockout tours. I recommend playing that mode if you're actively looking to be frustrated. Anyways, I love the open world, the free roam's fun to just explore and chill around in, and the races are a blast, especially when you drive from one track directly to the next. The 24 racers compared to the 12 from Mario Kart 8 also make it a lot harder to catch up when you get hit and get passed by literally everybody. Either that or I just suck. Anyways, I don't want to spoil too much of the fun, but all I can say is that it's so much fun to play, especially compared to Mario Kart 8, which I've had for like 7 years at this point. I also think Mario Kart World does a great job at showing off how good the display is on the Switch 2 as well. It makes it look so crisp and bright, and honestly, the LCD display, it's not a big deal. But yeah, the console and game bundle is honestly a worthwhile purchase to me. I can't say much about the $80 game itself though. So yeah, those are my thoughts and experiences with the Switch 2. I think the main takeaway is that I wanted to lock in and get in shape this summer, but Mario said no.